Hi, everybody. Welcome to Discover College Soccer. Today, we got a little special episode for you. I'm excited to be talking to Ran Carmeli from Track160. Welcome, Ron.
Hi, I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. And uh, so I'm sure there's going to be a lot of folks who are like, Matt, why are you talking to a company called Track160? This is not a track and field app here. But I saw these guys in Philadelphia at the coaches convention and thought what they were doing was pretty cool. And so I reached out and turns out Ron has some good college soccer experience as well. So we'll talk to him about that at the beginning and then learn a little bit more about Track160. So Ron, do me a favor, tell me about yourself and your college soccer experience.
Yes, for sure. So first of all, thank you for having me, and I'm happy to be here on this platform, speaking about a little bit about my background and, of course, about Track160. Our as a feedback that we are getting, the revolutionary solution software system. But just before that. American Israeli. So I was born in New York, and then my family moved to Israel back at the 70s and was raised in Israel, started to play soccer since I was 5. And then in Israel, it's mandatory. So at the age of 18, it's mandatory to go to the military service. So at the age of 18, I decided to put aside my soccer career and go to do some substantial service. So I was serving in the special forces. I was an officer, so I had to sign another year. So it's total of 4 years that I served at the Israeli army. And once released from the army, I decided to go back to the US and acquire my business degree, majoring in business administration with a minor in marketing and communication. And I did that at Southern Connecticut State University in New Haven, Connecticut. So the reason going there was both from the soccer side, as a great program running by former head coach Ray Reid, and from the business perspective, because they had a great business administration program running at the university. So I was there for 3.5 years, attending 3 years at part of the soccer team. Was fortunate to be part of the 95 winning the national championship. So as you know, the American way. So I have this huge ring, which I don't wear. But if you go with this here in Israel, people might think you are crazy. So I don't have a lot of chances. But yeah, it was great experience, soccer-wise, business-wise, education-wise. And I got to really get to know the U.S. soccer organization, NCAA, and experiencing. And I gotta tell you, if I was now back again, releasing just yesterday from the service, that's what I'll do again, same way and enjoying it. So now. With Track160 being here, the VP Sales and Business Development worldwide, I'm responsible to kind of like launch and bring the message that we at Track160 bringing, which we'll talk soon. And it's about a software company. We developed a software that provides data analytics for soccer games. And this is only by AI, computer vision, optical tracking system that we were the one to, since 2017, develop very, very sophisticated algorithms that enable us to do all the data analytics generation just from the video. No wearables, no chip, no GPS, nothing. Just from the video that we are acquiring from the game.
Yeah. So it was crazy to me, walking around the show floor there at the convention, how many data analytics, um, those types of services, applications, whatever you want to call them, were so popular this year. And of course, at my daughter's soccer club, we have Trace, so we're videotaping and they're moving away from the wearables, although they still have the wearable option right now. So the one thing that I thought was interesting about Track160 was you guys were coming at it, from what I saw, in a different way than most people, right? There's not, like you said, they're not putting what is it, Playmaker or whatever the thing on your shoe, or it's not just a camera. It's not just a upload a video and it spits out stats. You guys are a little bit different. So for those who, are probably very unfamiliar with Track160, can you give me a little bit more about exactly what it is, how it works, and why it would be good for teams to have?
Yeah, and I think the best way will kind of like run the process, how we do that, and then getting into a little bit the technical aspect. So basically, it's about getting 3 videos from 3 cameras positioned in one spot of the field. We don't need to be around the pitch or behind goals. We need to be somewhere next to the midline in I would say about between 25 to 30 feet high, and then with a distance from sideline like 15, 20 feet. And then we don't have to be exactly on midline. We can go sideways, like 20 feet each side. So we're good with that. And this is the spot that we will have the 3 cameras. So it could be on a light pole. It could be on top of the stands. It could be on top of a box. It could be on high fence, wherever. We are very flexible of where we put the camera. And then we record the game with those 3 cameras overlooking the entire pitch. So one will go to the right, center, and left. And then once the game recorded and the game ended, the recorded footage with an internet connection will be uploaded up to the cloud. And that's where we're going to do our solving process, where we're going to generate all this data and analytics up in the cloud. So here again, a very, very, I would say, specific added value and advantage. Everything is done fully automated up in the cloud. So once we get the recorded footage, we only need the game info, meaning starting lineups and substitution. And then the system will start to work on getting all those analytics and data and everything, video clips and everything is done automatically. So that's once we finish this process, which takes somewhere at about 10 to 12 hours, then all the data analytics and video clips, everything will be ready for coaches on the web app that we develop and for players on the mobile app, which I don't know if you were able to see what FIFA just launched in their last World Cup in Qatar. They had a mobile app for the players, which showed each player after the game, right after the game, showed him the performance. And we are here in a small company, fairly small, coming from a small country. We developed this specific mobile application before FIFA. We already launched it back in September, and there are youth clubs all over the world using this mobile application, which all provide the platform for players as well as for parents. So parents no longer need to see their kids' game only from the screen of the cell phone, because they want to take, if they're going to make score a goal or do a good pass or good move. So now they all getting it right away in about 12 hours after the game to their mobile app. Now, a little bit about the technology behind it. So we are basically tracking the jersey number and the skeleton of each individual player that the system create. And from the minute that the system track each individual player from the first second of the game, they will be tracked for the entire game. So we are tracking all 22 players that are on the pitch. So meaning we are taking the home team as well as the away team, the opponents, and even the referees. So we get information how's the performance of the referees. So that's kind of the process, and the fact that is all done fully automated, it's a big advantage, and it's a good value for coaches. Coaches, if we talk about coaches at college level, universities, or even at soccer clubs, usually they have more than just one role, being the coach or assistant coach, and they have day job, they have other teams that they coach, and they don't have a lot of time to put into clipping, tagging, even the distribution to a specific player. It's something that requires a lot of time. So then they all get it fully automatically, and they can use it, and they get the video clips of each specific event. They get the data, they get the sports science data, meaning each player, how much distance did they cover? What was the top speed? How many sprints? Was it in possession, out of possession? Which direction? Acceleration, deceleration. So everything is being provided to them within the click.
So, and you kind of mentioned this a little bit, but a lot of times, I mean, I was lucky enough to visit Brentford's club a few years back, and they had offices, and it was just the data and analytics guys, breaking down video and all the things that they would come up with and give to the head coach to work into training or to address with players, et cetera, et cetera. But youth clubs especially, we're not going to have that, right? And even college programs usually don't have that kind of manpower. So does someone need a specialist to analyze the data that Track160 produces, or is it simple enough for a coach, like you said, though, the person who's got multiple jobs, to adopt and implement whatever it is that they're finding?
It's not simple enough. It's very simple. And it's how it is with softwares, and we've been through all this, with the technology today, a lot of softwares that are within reach, and applications. And we understand, and that's what we saw throughout the way, just when we started. We understood that if we want to have it at this youth level, we need to have it a very, very simple and user-friendly. So as we say, Keith, keep it simple. So this is very simple. It's very straightforward. It's very user-friendly. And the feedbacks that I'm getting with clubs that acquiring our services and system, that after using the system 5-10 minutes, they feel very comfortable. They feel like they were using it for a long time. And this is exactly what we wanted to do. So, sometimes you get some new software, and then it's become a little bit difficult. So you say, okay, you know what? I'll deal with that over the weekend. And then weekends come, and you have other tasks. You need, sometimes you have kids, sometimes you have games, sometimes you have other missions to a wife ask you to do some stuff. And then you said, okay, I'll deal with that later. And then that's what happened. You don't deal with it. That's why it's very simple. It's very straightforward, and it's very added value. So as soon as they get it, as soon as they use it, they understand the value. And you said it the best way. They are taking the information there and being able to improve the level of the player as well as their level of coaching. Because if I see something that was happening in the last match, and then I said, okay, I wanted the back four to maintain the straight line and not breaking the offside line. And then I see that this was broke down a few times during the game. I know right away that this is something I need to work with during the practices over the week, and make sure that this is not going to happen for the next game.
So in terms of a team or club who maybe wants to implement this awesome technology, who is this really geared for? Is it, of course, youth clubs, the problem's always going to be price, right? But so who is this really targeted towards, and who might be able to take advantage of some Track160 stuff?
As we focused on the youth, so within the youth we can see the layers of high schools, and there are out there a lot of high schools who seems to be very competitive, and they have both goals to have good results for the high school and to improve the program over the high school, as well as to develop the players. This is for high school. Of course, college and universities definitely on our radar and target audience, and taking it also to the youth clubs and those who participate in leagues and would like to improve and get better and improve the level of the teams underneath the club, as well as develop the player for getting into sometimes to a professional way, or sometimes to get a good scholarship in good academic schools or universities. So definitely this is kind of like our tier, and that's where we feel that our system could be great value. We are not looking at the top tier, although we do cover some first Premier Leagues around the world, like in Hungary, like in Saudi Arabia, like now the third league in Germany, men's third league, as well as women first league. But this is not our main focus. Our main focus is definitely the youth. And if going a little bit underneath to the community level, it's becoming kind of challenging because these guys, they're not really looking to develop and improve and not very competitive. So for us, it's kind of challenging bringing all these very granulated data and for them. So they probably will go with the video solutions and rather than taking it to the next level with data analytics and having all the events that were during the games tracked and being presented as a performance aspects.
So with this environment, I mean, obviously AI is changing so rapidly, and there's being advances are happening, every day. So where do you see this going next? What kind of new and innovative things might be just down the road, either 6 months, 2 years, whatever?
Yeah, so it's funny because we and you're right. We were very, very high sophisticated system using the AI and the algorithm that we developed, which is IPs for the companies, and that's like kind of magic, getting all this information just from the video and not having the need to use the wearables. And one thing that we are creating and generating over the process, which I mentioned, the skeleton of the player, which can tell position, which can tell movement, and then based on the AI, we know what to anticipate, what is going to happen with the player in specific occasions. So in the process of solving the game, we are creating those skeletons. Now, those skeletons are already the basis for the next to come future metaverse. So imagine in the future, and this is not too far for us to take it to the next level, take those skeletons and put some avatars on them, and then have the viewers or the fans, whoever would like to use it, to see the game like he's playing it, like he's part of it. And from the vision of, let's say, from the goalkeeper vision or from the striker vision. So all of these, we already have it. It's already structured. So now it's just taking it and getting all together, putting some avatars, and boom, it's ready for the next, I would say, futuristic metaverse.
Wow, that could be interesting. That's for sure. Well, the last one of the last questions I have for you is, as soon as I saw it, why the name Track160?
Okay, so it's very simple. It's probably the first question I'm getting every meeting, and the answer is kind of like simpler than whatever everybody thinks. So 160 is the value of the letters of the founder. The founder name is Mickey. And the value, or if you add the values of all the letters in his name, is 160. So it's not the angle of the camera. It's not what we cover on the pitch. It's not how many seconds per frames per second. It's just simple as the value of the letters of the name. And with that, I wanted just to add one more thing. And I didn't mention. So the system is certified and qualified by FIFA. So we've been running through tests every year and getting this certification and approvals. And also Bundesliga in Germany invested in Track like 3 years ago. And they are kind of like the part of the total, I would say, board and of Track. And we are very proud that they are part of it. And we've been using it to expand throughout the European, especially the German market, working with Hoffenheim, and now starting to work with the third league men and first women league, which, by the way, going to be the first women league worldwide that's going to get tracking data from the games. So this is, yeah, it's quite an accomplishment.
Yeah, that'll be awesome to see. Well,
Yeah.
Ron, I really appreciate the time. It's been an interesting conversation. I know the data and analytics space is growing like crazy in the soccer world, and it'll be interesting to see hopefully some places where Track 160 makes some headway into the US, whether that's at the college level or at the club level. I know I would love to have this kind of a data and stats and camera angles and all the things you talked about for some of my daughter's games, and hopefully we'll get there in the not too distant future.
Yeah, for sure. And so you mentioned getting data. So as probably most of our audience were able to see the Moneyball movie, Brad Pitt, a great actor. So it's all about data. In the future is going to data, and I think we have the revolutionary system to provide this with not huge investment like the elite club, and something that is suitable for youth clubs, and hopefully sooner than later in your daughter's club, being able to get you, and we will get you the mobile app so you can get all the analytics straight to your phone without having to even go what's going on the pitch.
Well, it's also useful for when dad's the coach and dad's telling her what she's doing wrong and she doesn't believe me. It's much easier to grab the phone and show it to her. But
yeah, that's gonna make your life easier.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, folks, I recommend checking them out online, track160.com. You'll see the level of clarity and the different types of statistics and analysis that they provide. Is really cool stuff. So, Ron, thank you for the time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Have a great day.